Mutalisks on the way. Make that 6 Mutalisks on the way. A few Overlords. Check the army size here again. It's definitely in MaDFroG's favor now because, see, since he was going for... Okay, we lost a whole lot of Zerglings over there for... check out the units lost here. A little bit... The units lost is a little bit in Alabasta's favor, but no, you know, it's mostly Zerglings and a few drones earlier. And a 4th base coming up for MaDFroG as well. And I think I was about to say something earlier, I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, so since he didn't, you know, since he expanded way later than MaDFroG, and he knew he expanded so much later, I think with that initial Hellion harass, and he saw all that, he probably should have went for an earlier attack, because now, you know, he's lost that window of opportunity for, you know, when MaDFroG expanded. You know, because when someone expands, you have sort of this small window for when you can, these Beetles are going to just meet a bunch of Marines, missile turrets, they're probably going to get out of here. So, but yeah, like I was saying, is when you expand, your opponent has this sort of window of opportunity to attack you where you aren't going to be quite prepared for it. But then if they don't attack you, you can end up with a much significantly larger army, like we see right now. So yeah, it's the 77 supply for Alabasta and 103 for MaDFroG. And a lot of that is drones, that I don't think it's really 30 of that, so I guess it is about even. And it's a pretty healthy unit composition, but I mean, all just some Banelings will just totally rock this world over here. Which I don't know if he even has any Banelings just yet. Looks like he's got Morphian 21 Banelings. Where are those guys at? There they are. Lots and lots of Banelings on the way. So that'll just, you know, rip right through all this right here. And all these Mutalisks here, picking off one Hellion. Almost, you know, still, I don't know if he's lost any Mutas yet. He's got to be really careful with these siege tanks. Keep him right there with all these guys, because I saw that they were kind of back here a minute ago all alone. So these Mutalisks could have flown around. Oh, and this is going to be really bad here for Alabasta, losing all of his forces. Oh man, that was so bad. So all these tanks are going to go down. He didn't lose any of his Mutalisks, only these fairly inexpensive Banelings, which, you know, they do cost a lot of gas when you have that many Banelings, but I mean, he now has, I believe the army tab's going to show that it's, yeah, definitely in MaDFroG's favor now. The units lost tab is also definitely in MaDFroG's favor, so Alabasta here is looking like he could be in a little bit of trouble. Looks like he did salvage those bunkers from earlier just to, you know, which a lot of Terran players will do is they'll salvage all their bunkers right when they push out. But of course, you know, he's definitely behind now, so he could be in a bit of trouble. So we do have another hatchery coming down over here. Oh, okay, so he's building 3 extra in-base hatcheries, probably because he knows he's going to have a ton of income here in just a minute, because he's got this, you know, high yield, fully mining. This 3rd base, not very saturated yet, but I mean, he does have 2 fully saturated bases here and here, and fully saturated high yield, which this is all very secure now. He knows he's got this sort of army advantage over the Terran now. He definitely has the economic advantage, so he's gonna have to, so he's basically just kind of, you know, biding his time, building up his forces, and eventually probably just crush him. Get the production tab open. We have the Hive on the way, so that's kind of interesting. We have 1 Corruptor. I'm not really sure what that's for, unless he's planning on getting the Greater Spires, because that's done. But it's a little bit of a preemptive, picking off on Medivac, but it was a bit of a preemptive Corruptor. Maybe it was an accident, I don't know, it's hard to say. There it is right there, so we'll see what he does. Probably do something later. So the Mutalisks over here, picking off an add-on there, probably going to try and pick off this over here. He's not really sure what's building here, so probably going to try and the Marines are going to chase it off, though. And I don't know if he has any Medivacs. He's 1 Medivac, probably needs to get these guys healed up, because softened up Marines can die pretty fast to Mutas if they don't have any sort of, you know, Medivac air support. Now, this is another thing sort of reminiscent of the Asian servers, is having the roaches mixed in with your Zerg army. Instead of doing the whole Muta Baneling and Muta Zergling, is throwing in some roaches as well, which can be pretty good. Now, of course, with the new siege tanks, they do the full damage to roaches though, but it still takes 3 shots though. So let's see, gonna be moving out here with some Hellions. I don't know if they have that Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade yet. Looks like they do, so he's probably gonna be trying to zip up here to this expansion, which might be kind of the wrong choice, because, you know, he does have this watchtower, so he is gonna see these Hellions running up here. So yeah, he's gonna move these Mutalisks over here, and he's probably not gonna get a whole lot of kills. He's gonna be losing all these Hellions. So fairly ineffective harass there. He could lose a bunch of these Zerglings, but I mean, that's fairly inexpensive, because these Zerglings are, you know, 25 minerals a piece, so it's really nothing compared to 100 mineral Hellions. So he's gonna try and chase these Mutas off with all those Marines, not really, you know, moving out to kill him, because he does know that he is probably way behind in the army size here. So we have 172 to 96, so, you know, he is in a bit of a position here, so he does need to get these Marines in the bunkers if MaDFroG does choose to push out here. Because he is on 4 full, actually this one's not mining at all still, he has a lot of larvae, and he is banking on a lot of minerals, not a whole lot of, so he could just, like, you know, pump out a few. Actually he's maxed out now, so we do have a maximum size Zerg army, which is, again, not something you see a whole lot of, and it looks like Alabasta could be in a little bit of trouble here. But, I mean, if MaDFroG doesn't push out really soon here with this maxed out army, Alabasta's going to have time to, because a maxed out Terran army is still pretty difficult to deal with. does have 27 Baneling Zone and a couple Infestors, and I don't think we had anything quite out of that. Okay, we'd have an Ultralisk Cavern on the way from that hive. I was wondering what he's going to do with that. Checking out the upgrades here. We have 1 armor for the... so 1 armor, I don't know about melee, I don't see any Zerglings anywhere. I'm having a hard time clicking on them anyway. Yes, so 1 armor for the ground forces, and nothing for the air. And for the Terran player, nothing, 0, 0, and 0, 0. So it's a fairly, you know, non-upgrading game here. So it looks like Alabasta might be thinking of pushing out here, which could be a bit of a mistake because I don't know if he knows how big this army is. That has a lot of Infestors. I mean, that's going to be a lot of fungal growth, which is going to lock down this nice and tight right here. Keep the, kind of keep all the medevacs from getting away with all these, forces and whatnot, because a lot of times what they'll do is just pick everything up and fly away if they get into trouble. So it looks like he's, I like how he's spreading the creep around, doing a pretty good job with that, dropping down some creep over here, probably going to see if he can keep from expanding over here, probably should do it over here too. So we've got 4 fully loaded medevacs, and, MaDFroG doesn't know about this, so he's going to need to get over here, so Alabasta needs to get over here, drop this off. It would be better if he could do it at more mining expansions, maybe over here, but I mean this is the most accessible one, and he can't take out these production facilities. So here comes the drop, dropping off, so I think it's all Marines, there might be a couple Hellions mixed in there, he's going to lose. Nice control by MaDFroG getting all of his drones out of there. So he might be losing this hatchery, not sure, but that is a huge, here comes the huge force here from MaDFroG. Gonna load these up, get him out of here, and gonna chase him off the Velos. Oh, nice fungal growth down there. Oh, and he's gonna fungal growth the rest of these, so that's gonna be lights out for that sort of Terran strike force. So now the forces, so we got 80, let's check out the army tab, 85 to 200, so this is gonna be pretty bad here in a second, so he's only about a minute left in the game. So now we're just waiting for the completion of this here, so we're probably gonna, all these burrowed roaches. Gonna probably just pop up on all this. Anyway, so yeah, MaDFroG is just banking on so much resources, and so is actually Alabasta. It's kind of weird how he's sitting on so much, even though his army isn't maxed out. He's probably check out the APM. Yeah, they're both just flying through that APM. He's probably gonna unburrow. He might run these by, actually getting right him on top of the siege tanks, and he's gonna take those out. So let's see here. Let's roll all this in here and just totally just annihilate this Terran. Yeah, these Infestors actually, I mean, he got a lot of Infestors, but it looks like they haven't really done a whole lot because of fungal growth on all this that much. But it doesn't matter because he just totally wiped the floor with him. So yeah, there's the GG, and he left the game. So anyway, that was a bit fairly one-sided. Not a whole lot of action, but it was, at least a little bit entertaining. Fairly strange mix of units. I don't even know if he ever got any of those Ultralisks that he built that Ultralisk Cavern for. No, he didn't. Oh well, it was probably just sort of a preemptive thing. And I don't remember the larva actually doing this sort of spreading around the hatchery thing. That might be a new thing with the new patch. I don't know, it's kind of cool, and I do like how all the new buttons are all colored, except for the burrow button, which I really wish they would do something with that, but oh well. Not that it matters a whole lot, that's a different story. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Pretty soon, I'm going to be trying to do like a post-game battle analysis thing on like a part 4, so, hopefully I'll be able to start doing that pretty soon. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, because I like really doing that sort of real in-depth battle analysis. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks.